Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, August 19, 12:13 America, New York. Live updates. No democratic system at all, under Taliban rule, commander confirms. Taliban Supreme Leader Hibatullah Akhundzada is likely to remain in overall charge of a system governed by a strict interpretation of Sharia law. Washington Post World, August 19, 12:11 America, New York. Tensions over aid grow in Haiti as quakes deaths pass 2K. Tensions have been growing over the slow pace of aid efforts in Haiti after a powerful weekend earthquake that killed more than 2,100 people and was followed by a drenching tropical depression. Washington Post World, August 19, 12:09 America, New York. Hurricane Grace soaks Mexico's Caribbean coast. Hurricane Grace is pelting Mexico's Caribbean coast with heavy rain and strong winds, threatening to keep tourists off the white sand beaches until it crosses the Yucatan Peninsula. Washington Post World, August 19, 12:06 America, New York. What is being done to distribute COVID-19 vaccines globally? Several groups are working to get COVID-19 vaccines to poor countries, but the efforts are falling short of what's needed to curb outbreaks globally. Washington Post World, August 19, 11:41 America, New York. Sandra Oh takes Killing Eve break with dramady, The Chair. Sandra Oh has been dancing with death on Killing Eve since 2018, so she could do with a laugh. RT World News, August 19, 11:40 America, New York. COVID deaths in Iran climb above 100,000 as Delta variant fuels fifth wave. The Iranian Health Ministry announced on Thursday that the country had surpassed the tragic milestone of 100,000 COVID deaths despite the recent implementation of tighter restrictions amid a fifth wave of infections.
BBC News World, August 19, 11:22 America, New York. Canadian soldier faces jail over feeding cannabis cupcakes to troops. A Canadian bombardier fed cannabis cakes to troops during a drill involving guns and live ammunition.
World CBS News, com. August 19, 11:18 America, New York. U.S. forces and Haitians team up for earthquake relief efforts in Haiti as death toll climbs. After Saturday's earthquake, some Haitians are working to feed their displaced neighbors, many of whom haven't had a hot meal in days. Meanwhile, U.S. medical personnel are pouring into the country to aid with rescue and recovery as victims continue to overwhelm the nation's hospitals. World CBS News, com. August 19, 11:18 America, New York. Families in the U.S. fear for relatives in Afghanistan. San Diego trainee nurse Zohel Abdurrahman tells CBS News about her worries for family members who have not been able to leave Afghanistan, as thousands wait for evacuation flights in Kabul. Roxana Sabari reports.
ABC News International, August 19, 11:12 America, New York. Brazil City District slipping into sea after river diverted. Over the past half-century, the Atlantic Ocean has been slowly and relentlessly consuming Atafona, part of the São João da Barra municipality that is 250 kilometers, 155 miles, from Rio de Janeiro's capital and home to 36,000 people.
Washington Post World, August 19, 11:11 America, New York. Brazil City District slipping into sea after river diverted. Over the past half-century, the Atlantic Ocean has been slowly and relentlessly consuming Atafona, part of the São João da Barra municipality that is 250 kilometers, 155 miles, from Rio de Janeiro's capital and home to 36,000 people. Washington Post World, August 19, 11:11 America, New York. Italian alleged mobster linked to Van Goghs is held in Dubai. Italian police say one of the country's most wanted men, an alleged top drug trafficker suspected of having bought 2 stolen Van Gogh paintings on the black market, has been arrested in Dubai.
BBC News World, August 19, 11 o'clock America, New York. Afghanistan evacuations. Woman on trip back to Kabul describes fleeing city. A counselor who was visiting family in the country she had left aged 3 tells of her evacuation. BBC News World, August 19, 10:58 America, New York. Afghanistan, who originally supported Trump's deal with the Taliban. UK Defence Secretary Ben Wallace now calls it a rotten deal but supported it at the time.
New York Times World News. August 19, 10:57 America, New York. Booster shots make a mockery of vaccine equity, WHO official says. Coronavirus vaccine doses do more good by giving initial protection to people in low-income countries than by enhancing protection in wealthy nations, said the official. Drive.
ABC News International. August 19, 10:39 America, New York. Merkel ally. U.S. responsible for Afghanistan situation now. The leading member of German Chancellor Angela Merkel's center-right Union bloc has called for the United States to provide funding and shelter to those fleeing Afghanistan now.
RT World News. August 19, 10:39 America, New York. Protests against the Taliban spread to Kabul, as people march along the streets with Afghan flags. Videos have emerged from Kabul of civilians, including women and children, taking to the streets to protest against the rule of the Taliban and to celebrate Afghanistan's Independence Day.
BBC News World. August 19, 10:32 America, New York, Afghanistan. A woman's story of life under the Taliban in 1999. Taliban rule in 1999. An Afghan woman recalls the day her father disappeared.
Washington Post World. August 19, 10:30 America, New York. Analysis. Twin tragedies, and the strings that pull them. Twin tragedies on opposite sides of the world are piling misery on people who have seen far more than their share.
Fox World News. August 19, 10:23 America, New York. Taliban fire at Afghans celebrating Independence Day, videos show. Chaos is erupting across Afghanistan Thursday as Taliban fighters have been caught on video opening fire on crowds waving Afghan flags and celebrating the country's Independence Day. ABC News International. August 19, 10:18 America, New York. Europeans express grave concern over IAEA report on Iran. The foreign ministries of Germany, France and Britain have expressed grave concern over the latest report by the UN's nuclear watchdog that Saudi Iran continues to produce uranium metal, which can be used in the production of a nuclear bomb.
Washington Post World. August 19, 10:16 America, New York. The Taliban says it will rule under Sharia law. What does that mean? In practice, it is understood, interpreted and applied differently around the world, according to divergent traditions, cultural contexts and the role of Islam in government.